Hey, what is going on everyone? Around 2 weeks ago, I had 0 wins in Fortnite with hundreds of attempts. You might be thinking that I'm awful because I actually was at the game. I wasn't very good. It took me forever to win, and anytime I did get close to winning, I absolutely blew it at the end of games. But over the last 2 weeks, I followed these tips to elevate my game and earn over 40 wins and top 5 every game with duo and squad clutches thrown in there too. The great thing is, you guys are probably starting out at a better spot than I did. It took me hundreds of games to even get my first win, so you're gonna find a way to consistently get those victory royales really quickly. Now let's get into it. Okay, I think the obvious place to start is with the landing, and this is an area that a lot of other YouTubers had wrong for me. They say you should pick only a couple of spots that you know where all the loot is and go to those every single time. Now this is fine and dandy when you're already good at the game. I go to the same 3 spots every game now that I know what to do and how to win. However, this strategy absolutely will slow down your ultimate progress to Victory Royale consistently. What you need to do at the start, so when you're a beginner, you're new to the game, you need to land at the first big city the bus flies over. You're most likely not going to win doing this strategy given how many people you're going to run into, but this is going to give you a ton of experience really quickly and you're going to exponentially get better at the game. You're going to be forced into learning how to win gunfights, how to land quickly, how to loot efficiently, and most importantly, how to build. The best teachers always experience and practice. Mr. Miyagi had it right, guys, with wax on, wax off.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Some of my noob friends, and you newbies out there too, you go with the land very far away in a discreet location strategy where you end up hiding the whole game, going bush to bush, being a bush Wookiee to get top 5. Okay, sure, you might get top 5 every once in a while, hell, you might even get a victory royale or 2 by luck, but this strategy will not make you good at the game. As soon as you run into someone who knows how to build effectively, you're going to be seeing eliminated on that screen before you can say, oh snap.
Oh snap.
Now that you are landing in heavily populated areas, it is time to start working on elevating your game for survival. There are plenty of guides on landing quickly, but I'll briefly go over the basics because being one of the first ones is very important in earning that competitive advantage over your enemies. When falling, you're always going to want to target rivers, outside the map, or valleys, basically just the lowest points on the map. That way you fall for longer before you have to pull out your glider. Once your glider is deployed and you're heading towards a big city like Retail Row, Greasy Grove, any of these, take a look around to see where everyone else is heading. This is going to give you a great idea of how many enemies you might have to fight, and you can make a mental note of which houses or directions you need to look out for incoming attacks. Upon landing, you gotta prioritize, guys. You would not believe how many people I've seen run across a building to grab bandages or a shield before they even have a gun. Number 1 step on the ground, always grab a gun first. You can't defend yourself without a gun. Pickaxe does not go very far, guys, and I know a lot of you have already learned that. So after you have that gun, you can loot the rest of the house or building wherever you landed, but listen up for footsteps of other people. If no one is near you, find your way to the roof to get a good look at your surroundings, and ta-da! You guys have now survived the landing and you have at least 1 gun. We're making progress and you guys are surviving for longer already in these big cities.
Say hello to my little friend!
The loading screen is the most underrated target practice site. I cannot stress this enough. Instead of sitting on your phone, texting your mom, or reading some crap on Twitter between games, find a gun and work on your shot. This will not only help you warm up for that high pressure situation of landing in a big city or wherever you land once you're experienced, but it'll also give you that much needed experience with nearly every gun in the game. If you pick up something that you're not used to using, of course your shot's going to be off, but if you can kind of diminish that by practicing it in the practice load screen, you're going to be much better off. Other YouTubers also suggest guns based on situations. For example, the pump shotgun from close range versus the M16. This is another tip I firmly disagree with, especially for beginners. When you're new to the game, you need to find that one go-to gun that you're nails with. For me, I love the M16 and I absolutely melt with it. So instead of wasting my time at the start of the game with a shotgun, pistol, or SMG that I'm inaccurate with, I always stuck with my M16 even from close range. Once I had the M16 mastered, that's when I took the opportunity to branch out to other guns. Don't branch out until you have that one reliable weapon you know you can always rely on. And the gun that you rely on might be different for everybody, so I'm not going to suggest any specific weapon. I just know personally that I'm better off handing a monkey the controller if I have a scoped or burst AR. I don't know why, I just cannot hit shots with those guns, and I really need to practice with those, but that might be different for you guys. And at the start of the game, guys, doesn't matter what gun you pick up, just always pick up a gun. I know I say to prioritize that number one gun, but at the start of the game, get your hands on anything, it's better than the pickaxe. Building is the most important step out of this entire video, so if you get nothing else, this really should be number one. I just didn't want to put it in chronological order. This is the most important. You can always tell an inexperienced player from a great player based on how they build and if they build. If you have the PvE version of Fortnite, you're in luck. This is where I started to build very quickly, and I learned how to mix up my builds by editing structures. Don't worry if you don't have the PvE version, you can practice these quick combat builds in Battle Royale too. My favorite build is the quick 4 walls and stairs build. Anytime I'm shot or in a sticky situation, this build gives me a chance at gaining that high ground over the enemy with a little bit of protection in the meantime. You can practice this build in the PvE version and in Battle Royale. Just stock up on resources and practice switching from your gun really quick to building walls as fast as possible. All you do, you switch from your gun to walls, boom, 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 4 around you, and then you lay stairs. This has become reflex for me and many other experienced players, and you need to get there too. Another quick building tip for starters, I'm not going to get too advanced into building in this video. I can in a future one if you guys want me to, but just keep building walls when someone is shooting at you. You can lay down walls as fast as they can shoot, so they will very quickly run out of ammo, especially towards the start of the game. When the shooting has died down, build yourself stairs to get that high ground and start firing back. I seriously cannot stress the importance of building enough. Whether it is building yourself protection or building stairs to infiltrate an enemy base, you're going to have to learn how to do this to achieve Victory Royale consistently. Many of you are not playing with Combat Pro on your controller setup, but you definitely should be. Combat Pro lets you build quicker and switch between weapons and resources instantly. I know a lot of you might be using it, but if you're used to the default controller settings, then Combat Pro is going to feel weird at first. Make sure you practice in the loading screen and in-game to adapt, but seriously, Combat Pro will give you the ability to switch between shooting an AR to a shotgun in milliseconds, making a huge difference in battle. So if you're not using it, make sure you start using it very quickly. Go to settings, change to Combat Pro, because it's going to amp up your game as fast as possible. One mistake, I see a lot of starters teaming up with friends in squads. Now this is a great way to have fun and get some victories off of your teammates' hard work, but if you're new to the game, you're not truly going to learn how to be good if you're relying on your team. You need to learn how to do steps 1 through 5 on your own rather than having teammates give you ammo, buildings, and good landings. There's an exception to this, however. I believe duo with a really experienced friend can help you out a lot. You still have a large amount of responsibility in duo, and you can learn a lot by playing with a good friend. My brother Josh, for instance, has almost 150 wins total. Playing duos with him really helped me see the game through an experienced player's eyes and how to deal with nearly any situation in game. He taught me a lot, and he actually helped me put together this guide. So doing stuff with somebody experienced, something like duo, it's going to help you a lot, and you're still going to have to make big plays like building and crouch shooting, all of these things that are really important to the game. So make sure that if you're going to play with a friend, try to find that guy that is good and you can really learn something from early on. To wrap everything up, you will get much better by following these steps. Trust me on that one. I forgot to mention inside the making your shot better that crouch shooting definitely is way more accurate, so get used to crouching and then shooting. It makes the crosshair smaller, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of it in this video here of me doing that and nailing some kills. So make sure you do that, and also resource collecting, very key to building. Obviously you can't build if you don't have enough resources. The more resources you have, the more you can build and the longer you'll survive. It only took me 2 weeks to go from not knowing any of the cities to winning nearly every game. Practice makes perfect. I know it's cliche, but the more you play, the better you'll get. There really is no set guideline to winning every game in Fortnite, since the RNG is going to put you in different situations, sometimes better, sometimes worse. However, mastering these basic skills will set you up for Victory Royale and give you the tools to beat down other players. Depending on how you guys like this video, I could definitely do some more advanced guides talking through, shields versus bandages, when to use traps, launch pads, and campfires, and many more in-depth tips. Let me know what you guys think down below, and if this helped you, please share it with your friends to help train them too. I want everybody to get better at Fortnite. I really made this video for my personal friends that are trying to get better at the game, and I'm hoping these tips can really help them. As always, guys, thanks for all your subscriptions lately. The channel just passed 12,000 subs, and I couldn't really be here without you guys. This has been rodeybros Cole, and I will see you all in the next video.